Hello and welcome to the video lecture on a simple C program, that is how to swap the two numbers using an temporary variable. So let us first understand the logic behind swapping the two numbers using a temporary variable, and then we are going to write the program and then we'll check the output for the same. Now let us consider that we have say two numbers. Let's say the first number is num1 and the second number is say num2. So this is say number 10 and this is number 20. What I want is this is what is the condition before swapping, and the expected result is after swapping in num1 I want the number 20 and in num2 I want the number 10. So we want to achieve this using a temporary variable. Now for that, here we are using another variable which is called as an temp. So this is say num1, this is my num2, and this is one more variable that I am using, that is a temporary variable. Now initially the num1 will contain 10 and num2 will contain 20. Now I want to first move this 20 into this num1. So for that reason, first I want to make this space available for the number 20. So for that I am moving this num1, that is a number 10, into the temporary variable. So my first step is, this is num1, this is num2, and this is temp or temporary variable. So what I will do is I am going to move this number 10 to temporary variable. So now 10 will be available here and num2 will contain 20. Now this space is available for this num2. So in the next step what I am going to do is I am moving this number 20 into the num1. So now in the next step, the num1 I will move this number 20 into this num1. Now num2 is vacant available and my temp will contain 10. So in the next step, now I am going to move this 10 from this temporary variable into the num2. So finally the num1 will contain 20, num2 will contain 10, and temp will remain vacant, because anyhow we are using this variable as a temporary variable. So when the swapping will complete, then there is no any use of this variable. So this is what is basically the logic behind the swapping of the two numbers. Okay, so first we are going to make the space available for one number by moving that number into the temporary variable. Now let us write the program for the same, and now let us check the output. So basically three steps are important in the logic. That first step in that is that a temporary variable is equal to num1, that is we are going to assign this num1 to the temp. This is our first step. I am writing the main logic steps. Then as this space becomes vacant, I am moving this num2 into the num1. So what I am going to write, num1 is equal to num2, that is I am going to assign the num2 to num1, and then I am going to assign this temporary to num2. So for that I am going to write num2 is equal to 10. So this is what is the main logic behind the swapping. Now let us write the program for the same. Now I am going to open the dev cpp. For that I am going to open a new project here, new file, new source file. Okay, and we'll start writing the program. So obviously my first line is hash include stdio.h. This is a standard header file that I am going to include for every program. Then integer main, open the curly braces. Now here we are going to declare the two numbers. So say integer num1, num2 and the temporary variable. Okay, that is temp. Then we can write here printf /n, enter the first number, so semicolon should be after the bracket. Okay, then after doing this we are going to scan this first number. So scanf double quotes, it is an integer, so we are giving here %d comma ampersand num1. So here we are accepting the first number from the user. Then again I am just copying these two statements, so control C and control V. Printf, I am just changing this to second number, and here I am making a change, that is num2. So actually we have taken both the numbers and now we are going to write the main logic. So I have already shown you. First I am going to move the number 1 into the temp variable. So now num1 is available, so then I am moving this num1 num2 to num1, that is the second step, and now num2 is available and now num2 is equal to temp. Okay, so this is what is the main logic, and now we are going to check the output by using the printf statement. So printf, the first number is, make it capital, is %d. We have to mention the format specifier and comma which number you want, that is num1, complete the bracket, and again write the second printf. So I will copy the same, control C and control V. So here I will just write second number and here I will write num2. Okay, and finally as we have declared the main as an integer, you have to write return 0. So this is what is a simple program. Now let us check the output of the same. So first you have to save the program. So I will give the name swap and I am going to save it on the desktop. So save. Okay, now I am going to compile and run. I will check for the errors if any. So no any error. So now see here the output. It is asking to enter the first number. So let's say 10, which we have discussed in the example. Asking to enter the second number, let's say 20. And see here, after swapping, the first number is 20, second number is 10. We can also check the output by changing the number. So again, I will run the program. Now I will give the number, say 45. Second number is 67. After swapping, see here, the first number is 67, second number is 45. So this is what is a simple logic for swapping the two numbers using a temporary variable. In the tomorrow's lecture, or in next video rather, we will see how to swap the number without using the temporary variable. Okay, so guys, if you like my channel, then don't forget to subscribe to my channel and please like and share the video with your friends. Thank you guys, thank you so much.